Hello and welcome to Art Club, you guys. Excited to have you this week for our Picasso week. Today we're going to start off by making these adorable cardboard bowls. Tomorrow we're going to be filling them in with different geometric Picasso-like shapes, as well as coloring it in with our oil pastels. So tomorrow we're definitely going to need pencil, Sharpie marker, and oil pastels. For today, we're going to need a few pieces of cardboard, a little bit bigger size pieces of cardboard. You can kind of get an idea of how big I made this bowl. Now, they don't have to be this big, obviously. So like this next one that I'm about to show you guys, I'm going to do on a smaller piece of cardboard. So they don't necessarily have to be super large, but a little bit bigger size piece of cardboard works well for it. We're also going to need pencils today, as well as scissors. So you can see that we're going to be making these in 3 chunks. So the first part is going to be the bull's head, body, and tail. So that's going to be the first part that we make. And then for the legs, you can see we've got 2 sets of legs. The front legs are going to be a little bit bigger than the back ones, and you can see that with all of these things we're going to be putting little slits into them so that it can all fit together like so, and our bowl will be able to stand up. So let's get started. I'm going to be drawing mine with Sharpie marker so that it's easier to see on the screen, but you guys should be doing pencil for yours. So just keep that in mind, because obviously that way if you make a mistake, it's easy to erase it. But I want to make sure you guys can see it on the screen. So we're going to start off at the top with the bull's horns. So I'm going to start off by drawing sort of like a part of an oval shape here, like that. So it's almost a full oval, but notice that I'm leaving it at the top open because these are going to be my horns, so it doesn't need to go all the way there. Alright, and then coming around to make the outer part of those bull horns. Like so. So it kind of looks like a crescent moon, doesn't it? And if they're a little bit off too, like one's a little bit wider than the other, that is definitely okay. What you're going to notice as we continue this week is that with a lot of Picasso's work, it's not super realistic. It's very geometric and a little abstract looking. So, all right, now that we've got the horns drawn on, we're going to next draw like a half a football or a half a almond shape on the sides. Those are going to be our bull's ears. So I'm going to do that on both sides. Half a football, half a almond, however you want to think about it. Okay, the next shape we're going to draw is going to be for the bottom part of our bull's face, and so we're going to start off with sort of a V shape like this, but we're not going to continue it all the way to the bottom because at the bottom we actually want it to come to a sort of a U shape. So it's almost like a hybrid, a cross between a V and a U. Okay, for the bull's neck now, we want the neck to start right up under the ears, and it's going to come in like an upside down V shape. So like that, and once again right up under the ear, like that. And feel free, you guys, if I'm going a little too fast, you can always pause and rewind, so feel free to do that if you need to. And then the next shape is going to be, the best way I can describe is sort of like a bean shape for the bull's body. So I'm going to bring it around like this and kind of around like this. Try to save some room for a tail. I'm going to bring this tail so it kind of comes back in because I don't have a ton of space left here. So this tail, instead of sticking out, it's going to kind of come in like that. There we go. So we've got kind of that bean shape with a tail at the end. And then of course we're going to need the bull's legs to go somewhere, so we're also going to be putting a slit around here and around here for our bull's legs to attach to the body. Okay, so next we've got to do the legs. So I always like to kind of gauge like, okay, about how big should this be looking at it. So I think the first one I'm going to make is going to be about that big, okay, because I want it to look size appropriate. So you're gonna have to look at yours and just see like about how big do we want that to be. So now I'm going to just draw almost a full circle, kind of like a horseshoe shape. So coming around like this. This is why we want to use a pencil, because it looks a little lopsided. But I'll just kind of cut it down in there like that. So that looks pretty good here. And then I want to do another kind of crescent shape like that, but this time smaller and on the inside, like so. Kind of even that out. And then draw the ends like that. Okay? Now for the back legs, like I said, we want to make them a little bit smaller, but it's the same thing. Go ahead and draw that partial circle, kind of crescent shape, and even it out if it doesn't look quite right at first. You've got pencil, so it should work out well for you. And then the inner circle again, same thing, and there we go. Now the most time-intensive portion then, drawing it doesn't take quite as long, but our next step is we're going to be getting out our scissors and cutting all the way around these. Take your time, especially when you're making these curves and turns, but our last step for today is to cut out our bull body with the head and tail attached, as well as the 2 sets of legs. If you want to go ahead and try them out to see how they fit together, you can go ahead and fit them together like so and give it a test. Let's see if it stands. Sometimes you got to play around with it a little bit so that they are even. Well, look at that. I know it's the wrong way for you guys, but we've got a standing bull. Yay! So that's where we want to get for today so that we're ready to pick up from there tomorrow with our geometric shapes and our oil pastels to color our bull in. Hopefully you guys have fun and those fingers don't get too sore from cutting out all this cardboard. We'll see you guys tomorrow.